like a dream, I fell asleep, but I never woke. They say you're bad, but I just can't let go. You get me high like cocaine, make my heart race. You got me hooked, need you even more the next day. I know you're bad, but I just can't let go. Got me addicted, my head and heart conflicted. First you get me high, then you into your other mistress. I know you're bad, but I just can't let go. Got me addicted, my head and heart conflicted. First you get me high, then you into your other mistress. I know you're bad, but I just can't let go. To a good place. You touch me right, I close my eyes and we just fly away. I know you're bad, but I just can't let go. My wings go back every time you come around, but I know soon as you leave, then I'll hit the ground. I know you're bad, but I just can't let you go.
Yo guys, what is up? My name is King Arran and welcome back to my channel, and I hope you enjoyed that edit. But this video is about the main event this Saturday. I'm 1 day away. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's the KSI versus Logan Paul fight, and in this video I plan to make my predictions on what is going to happen in the undercards: Jake Paul versus Deji and KSI versus Logan Paul. So let's get into the video. Right guys, before we get any further into the video, make sure you're smashing that subscription button and liking it. Honestly, it means so much and it helps just with the YouTube algorithm and getting my channel out there. But what we are going to do is we are going to look at all the boxing matches on offer. I have bought the pay-per-view, so I will be watching them all. I'll probably do a reaction video after the fights are over. But for just now, we are going to look at all the undercards first and decide who we think's looking good, who we think's looking a bit off, who we think is going to be ready for the fight mentally and physically, and yeah, just ultimately give our opinion on which fighter we think is going to win. So let's get into it. Right guys, I have loaded up the page on my phone that tells us all the information we need to know, and I'm just going to go through the undercards one by one and I'll just give you my opinion on it, to be honest. I'm going to try and be truthful, try and not be biased for any YouTubers that I prefer, but yeah, let's get into it. Right, the first announced fight on the undercards is JMX versus Coach Richard. There's a bit of confusion with who JMX was fighting. It was meant to be Ramel from TGF originally, I think, but then that got scrapped or something because Ramel couldn't fight, which is fucking childish. Yeah, then he was meant to fight someone called, I think he's Call Me Ham, who I hadn't heard of. But he's meant to be a previous boxer or something, but he didn't look very much in shape. But that got cancelled because Logan Paul's team didn't want them fighting because there was that much of a height difference, which is pretty understandable, to be honest. But now he is fighting his coach, who was actually training him for the fight. I don't think he was training him for the boxing side of it, but on the PT, physical side of it, getting prepared for it and all that. And he's called Coach Richard, who's actually a previous European gold medalist, I think. I think he won 2 golds and won silver at Europeans for 400 meters. So obviously he's a pretty fit guy. He's got a athletic background. He's used to the pressure and all that. So I think on a mental game, JMX is going to be like, oh yes, I absolutely thrashed in the last boxing match. It's going to be comfortable. I'm in my zone now. I know what I'm doing. He's going to be a bit more confident going out there, I think. But because Coach Richard, although he's used to it, like massive crowds, it's not in that intense environment when you're at athletics tracks. It's like the stands, and it's not like closed in. You can't hear everything around you. So I think he's going to be in for a massive shock when he gets into the ring, and not many people are going to know him. There's going to be loads more people that are going to be supporting JMX on this, because obviously if you look at the comparison of the channels, you've got JMX on like, is it 2 million, nearly 3 million subscribers, and you've got Coach Richard, who's only just recently started a YouTube channel. He's only on like 13k. So obviously JMX is going to have a lot more followers. So on a mental game, I think JMX has won this. But on a physical aspect, I think with the fitness level of Coach Richard, and obviously he's athletic and that, I reckon he's going to pick up the boxing really, really quickly. And he's going to be a good competitor for JMX. I think JMX will just scrape this fight purely in the fact that he's had previous experience with boxing, and yeah, he knows what he's doing, even though I don't particularly like JMX's technique. It's a bit scrappy, a bit like mine's a bit scrappy at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to give this first fight to JMX. Close call though. Right, let's move on to the next fight. The next official undercard fight is Momo versus Rossi HD. I actually do not know any of these guys, so if you bear with me a second, I'm going to look them up and I'll come back with my opinion. Right guys, I am back and I have done a little bit of research. I've looked into both of these guys, only briefly, so this isn't going to be the best expertise on who I think is going to win. But I have looked at, first off, Momo's channel. I've just went through it, scrolled through it, seen a couple of his videos. Yeah, but the latest video is quite interesting. It's his final boxing training session. It was advertised as, but it was a bit of a sparring, and basically he looks fit physically, like when you look at him, but his technique is very, very poor. He's not defending whatsoever. He's swinging all over the place. But the one key thing that I took away from it is he's got a hard punch when it connects. So I think he's looking good. Whereas I've looked on Rossi HD's channel, and obviously he's a FIFA YouTuber. He's used to sitting down, but he's still very, very fit, healthy guy, young guy, both young. And basically he's not posted much, if anything, that I've seen. So it's a bit of an unknown. So could be tactical from both sides. It could be tactical, Rossi HD not showing any of his skills, tactics, not trying to give anything away. And also Momo with the scrappy, really not defending boxing spar video. That might be tactical as well, because he might be not wanting to show how good he is, and that he's just getting Rossi hyped up, like, yes, this is going to be an easy fight. So I don't know about this one. Honestly, I'm going to put it down to just not enough information, not enough footage, but I cannot decide on this, so I think I'm going to move on, and I think it'll, if I'm going to give one opinion, I think it'll go all the way. I think it'll be a good fight. I don't think anyone's getting knocked out. I think it'll be very, very even, and it'll come down to decision on this one. So it's just whoever puts the most effort in, to be honest. Right, the next fight is one that I am very, very excited for. It is Anisim Gibb versus Jay Swingler. Right, and obviously I am going to try and not be biased, because I am a massive TGF Pro fan. But I do like Anisim Gibb's content as well. I have watched both. Again, tactically maybe, Jay's not put out a lot of footage. He's put out the punching bag video, but doesn't really, like where he turns Rommel into a punching bag is absolutely hilarious, go check it out. But it doesn't really show much, obviously, because the punching bag is not moving, is it? But yeah, from the footage that was leaked, he looks alright, like average, but not like exceptional. And I want Jay to win, and I really hope he's put the effort in and improved a lot, because I really want him to win. He might just be holding back a bit in training. Some people do that, they go full out in the fight. But at the moment, I think Anis Gibb is going to win it. Because when I watched his last fight, I thought, wow, this guy is scrappy. He's very scrappy, loose with his hands. He's just punching everywhere. But he has got a lot of stamina. That is one key thing. But we never saw him into later rounds, so we don't know if that'll tire out or not. But we have seen the footage of him versus KSI, and that was such an evenly matched sparring fight. Like, he could have been KSI's opponent, but it's because Logan's bigger, you know, it's going to be drawing a lot more attention. But at the moment, I think Anis Gibb is going to win this reluctantly. I don't want him to win it, but I think he is going to win it, pull it out of the bag. Because Jay just doesn't look as good at the moment. Next fight on the undercards. This is the final undercard match, because I'm not really counting the Call Me Ham fight, because it's, you know, it's last minute. It could be anyone could win it, you know. Last minute, both of them not been training very well, let's be honest. The final big one is Raka versus Scarce. And again, this is one that I'm looking forward to, because it's a bit of the unknown. Obviously, Raka portrays a lot of violence in their videos. It might come in handy, I don't know. But they seem to be a lot of very contradicting characters. Like Scarce, he comes across as a really nice guy, really down-to-earth guy. Someone you wouldn't expect to take up in a boxing fight. So it's really unknown on who I think is going to win this, but personally, I think Scarce will put more effort in. But then again, I think Raka will have more raw talent. So it's going to be very close, but I think Scarce is going to win it. I really do. Right guys, now let's move on to the moment you've been waiting for. The two co-main events. First off, we're starting with Jake Paul versus Deji. Oh my days! This is going to be such an interesting... Yes, the two main events. Jake Paul versus Deji, going to be such an interesting fight. It is going to be very interesting. Obviously, Jake Paul, wrestling background, like more the fit guy, he'd be your first choice. Deji, complete opposite, sits in his chair all day, plays games, not very active guy. But personally, I think that Deji, at first, he looked, and Jake looked good. But I think Deji has put more effort in, because I think Jake has probably seen Deji's fights, thought, wow, this is going to be too easy, and sort of held back on how hard he's working. And because of that reason, because of the speed that Deji has, you've seen on the videos, I am going to give... I can't believe I'm saying this, because I was so on Jake winning for so long, but I think Deji is going to win it. And I want Deji to win it. Right, now, the moment of truth. KSI versus Logan Paul. Oh my gosh, the hype has been built up and built up and built up to the extreme. And tomorrow we'll find out who will be the champion of all champions. Because I do not see this happening again. There's no one bigger that KSI can fight other than PewDiePie. And PewDiePie will never pick up the boxing gloves, and it would be such an unfair fight. But this is so hard to decide, because both guys have massive egos. I am actually really scared for the loser, on how it will affect their career. I really want KSI to win, because obviously I like KSI a lot more. Before the whole scandal, I did enjoy Logan Paul's content, and I still think he's got that likability that comes across in all of his interviews and that. But I think that KSI has been working harder again. I think the Paul brothers are all show. They're all let's show off, show some Instagram videos, getting hit in the stomach. What's that prove? Nothing. KSI, he's going to need to defend more. But in the interview on True Dory's podcast, Vidal's coach said that they have been working on defence since the Joe fight, because obviously that's his area of weakness. So I am going to give it to KSI, because his technique is just very good in attack. In defence, if he's that good working on attack, he'll put that energy into his defence as well, and he needs to defend with Logan, because Logan's got a hard punch. But I am going to give it to KSI. Right, I cannot wait for the fight tomorrow. I am going to watch it live. I bought the pay-per-view ages ago. I'm going to watch all the undercards and the main events and see how many I got correct. I'm going to make it that I have to do a forfeit for everyone that I get wrong, which will be in a different video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, turn post notifications on, and remember to be audacious, showing your willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Peace out, my brother. Remember to like the video, smash that subscribe button, and turn post notifications on so you know when I upload.
Heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.